What's going on, arcade nerds? Today I am going to show you guys my job. This is where I work. This is what I do. Right here's like a paint booth where I paint some games, and we walk into the main shop area. Here's a bunch of pinballs. There's a guy here. There's a couple guys here that do pinball repair, and I'm not I don't enjoy working on pinballs. It's not that I couldn't. I mean, I fix the circuit boards, but I really don't want to sit there and play with all the toys and getting contacts cleaned and all that. It's just not my bag. But right here's the 720. I just rebuilt the monitor on this. I just showed you where I walk in to get into work here. Here is some this row of games from here down to that asteroid. I think there's there's 3 layers of games. That's what I did in the last 2 weeks. Now at this point these games are just working. You know, rebuilt monitors and so on. Yeah, they're not really cleaned yet. So they still need cleaned. There's a cool looking Liberator. We just had site art produced to put that on. That project's been sitting there for a while. But let me go through here. And here's a whole bunch of pinballs, of course. Now these are all broken pinballs. These are pinballs that will be repaired by one of the pinball guys here at work. Is really good with electromechanical stuff. So these pinballs are for him, and the other pinball guy is a solid state guy. Okay, here's some pinballs my boss just bought recently. Here to the right, there's a Hercules. I'm carrying my phone around because my phone has a flashlight on it. I'll take you into the junk room. Let me turn the lights on. Okay. And this is where I pull a lot of random parts off of different games. You know what? Let me. I'm gonna go up this little set of stairs. I'm gonna go up here and kind of give you a view of this humongous mass of games. And this is about half of it. I'm gonna show you down in the basement. There's more, but let's see here. And some of the games that I already finished are back in here just because we're short on space. And some have broken down, like that Tron. I believe the game board died, so I'm going to get back to that. That's in my boss's collection. And Wacko, my boss got sick of it, so it's back out here again. What else? Just some random games. You know what? I'll go down the aisles a little bit. Here's a Star Riders. That's all complete. One of these days, whenever he's interested, he's gonna have me fix this I'm sure. That aisle's kind of blocked. I don't want to go down there. You can kind of see a little bit. But there's another Tron. I'll probably end up fixing this, and my boss will probably sell it. Here's a couple Gravitars. Birdie King. And Ninja Baseball Batman. What a weird name. Here's a couple Battle Zones. And here's another Star Riders that someone converted to a hang-on. Oh, why? Star Castle, actually, that's completely redone. That was for my boss. Pepper 2. That's a complete working machine. I do need to rebuild the monitor for that someday. But a lot of junk in here. I mean, some of this stuff is basically here for parts. And it's someday, I think we're going to get organized and sell some of the junk cabinets. Like this used to be a Frogger, I'd imagine, cabinet. And you know, we have two options. It could be restored, which would be costly, or we could throw Multicade in it and, you know, get rid of the cabinet. Because if we don't Multicade this, what is this, a $50 cabinet? You know, so maybe someone else that is more interested in the Frogger, maybe they will restore it in the future, but at least it won't be in the dumpster yet. Things like that, you know. Here's an interesting cabinet. Does anyone recognize this cabinet? You know what that cabinet is? No one cares, but I do. This is a Kongorilla. The same company, Falcon and so on, that made these. They made a couple other games, but I'm pretty sure this was a Kongorilla because of the control panel. The Kongorilla just basically was a Crazy Kong. Donkey Kong clone. Well, let me go through here, pick another aisle. Here's some other games here. By the way, don't go bothering me. Don't tell me in the YouTube. Don't leave comments. Nothing is for sale until we say it's for sale. I know it sounds mean, but nothing's for sale until my boss says it's for sale. So don't give me a million comments. Yeah, there's Crystal Castles. There's a Crazy Climber. I redid this a long time ago now. Time Soldiers, an ice cold beer. Now there's actually 3 rows of games here, so I can't show you the games in the middle. That's an interesting game right here. Battle Shark. It's a really awesome cabinet. I love this cabinet. I hate the game. The game itself is terrible. Run and gun. I think that's a something Lords, Space Lords or something like that originally. Atari cabinet, I believe. Super Pack. Here's one of these beachhead things. I used to work for an operator that I always had to replace the VGA cables in these because these move. I can move it here. And the cable, the VGA cable that uses a little tiny monitor in here, the cable would move back and forth so much that it would go bad. So I had to replace the cables on those. But there's a Venture with My Hero in it. What a shame. I really hate to see these things converted. Here's a conversion for you. Atari Basketball to NBA Jam. Why? Here's a Time Pilot, you know, conversion. Actually, I wouldn't mind buying this off my boss because this would make a really nice eliminator. I have all the guts to make an eliminator now, so I'm looking for an old Zaxxon cabinet or something. There's Tubin, Dark Legacy. There's a Zaxxon. Joust. I got the stencils in the mail for this. I'm probably gonna end up stenciling this here soon. Well, it depends what my boss wants. He might change his mind on what he wants me to do. There's some Rockolas. Bump and Jump. Armor Attack. There's a Warlords. Yeah, when my boss got this, I was like, oh my god, do you want to sell it? Do you want to sell it? Because I, you know, despite popular belief, you know, all right, most people, let me say it this way, most people want the cocktail, but I would much rather have the upright Warlords. It is way cooler in my opinion. Yes, it does have a black and white screen, and the cocktail does have color, but the black and white does not have the mirror, it does not have the plastic inside. It's, you know, it has like a 3D effect. I love the upright way more. Plus, I'm not too fond of cocktails in general. So there's about 3 rows behind here. I don't know if you can see it or not. But there's a blaster, Duramold, jukeboxes, some random stuff here. Pole positions. Oh, what a crappy game. I bought one of these. It was like 50 bucks. I was like, oh man, how can you pass up a game for 50 bucks? And what a terrible game, man. It's it's like, you know, there's like a transition period where like some of the mid to late 80s drivers were just terrible. And then they kind of just, I don't know, got good all of a sudden. They went from like good driving games in the early 80s to crappy driving games in the late 80s. This is my opinion now. Then they got good again in the 90s. Cruising the world. Okay, I'm going to go down in the dark basement and I will show you guys some more games we have. But, see what else. There's a Marble Madness. I wish I could buy that off my boss. I want a Marble Madness. Anybody have a Marble Madness they want to sell or trade? A couple Pangos. Now, for those of you that don't know, Hercules, this big giant pinball right here, is the world's largest mass-produced pinball machine. There technically is larger pinballs that were made, but no larger pinballs than that were made by a company like Atari. Now, I believe there's another pinball the same size. Well, there was a couple prototypes of a pinball called Bigfoot, which was about the same size as Atari Hercules. Okay, I'm gonna go in the dark, see if I can find a light switch. Hopefully I'm not boring you guys too much. I'm using the light on my cell phone again. Let me get to this light switch and then I'll show you some more games. There we go. A little bit of light. Still kind of dark down here. My camera, I wish I had a light attached to it. It'd be wonderful. Now, once again, a lot of these are just part games that, you know, aren't high in value. See, this is a Satan's Hollow cabinet right here. It's pretty nice. Someone converted it to Commando. But a lot of these are parts machines, and I'll pull from the parts machines, and we'll get the more valuable machines up and running, or the more rare machines up and running. Tons of Gorfs in here. Let me get through this aisle here. I got games on both sides of me here. Is it just me, or I mean, I've seen so many Robocops with that marquee busted, it's amazing. Is it just my luck, or is everyone seeing busted marquees on Robocops? P47. You know, I bought this from my boss a while ago, and I haven't picked it up for so long. I doubt he even remembers it, so I might end up buying it again. I know it sounds crazy, but does anyone recognize this cabinet? Do you know what this is? That is a, oh man, Robbie Roto. Unfortunately, someone converted a Robbie Roto into a P47, so I would like to get Robbie Roto going. Unfortunately, I do not have my own Robbie Roto board set, so I'd like to get that, and I was planning on temporarily using a multi-board and set it to Robbie Roto until I get it correct. But generally, I don't put anything in my house unless it's all original. So I know it sounds funny, but I'd probably leave it in my garage forever, because I wouldn't want it in my house if it's a dirty, cheap knockoff, a phony. But here's some more games here. I don't know why, but I love Carnival. Mortal Kombat and a Stargate. See, I'm not even showing you all the games over here. Games over here. I've been kind of on a Miss Pac-Man kick lately, fixing them because they're easy to fix. The boards are easy to work on. Well, maybe they're that easy. It's just there's a lot of experience with Pac-Man boards because you work on them a lot. So I've been picking the easy ones lately. Some Missile Command. That's one. Sad Space Invaders Deluxe. Look at the mold. And there's a Discotron Environmental, like the back piece. The front piece was upstairs. I don't know if I showed you guys or not. There's a decent looking Space Invaders. Exterminator. That's a cool one. Another Venture cabinet converted to Yar Kung Fu. Some shuffleboards, a whole bunch of cocktails. But, you know, I hope it goes without saying that I don't ruin anything that is rare or sought after. And I have a very good grasp on what is rare or sought after. So, don't hate me for using some of these machines as parts. But yeah, that's about it. So I guess that is good enough for the tour. And if you want to stick around, I'll show you some random stuff I'm going to do today. Actually, to be honest, this is towards the end of the day. But I will try to get one or two things done before I leave. And show you some video of me doing stuff at work. Now, for those of you that don't know, my wife works with me here, and we misplaced the glass for 720. Now, she just rebuilt the 4900 monitor in this thing. Rebuilt that. We got the boards working. The boards were easy. It was just reseats and chips, and we were good to go. But Craterator, you don't see that very often. I'd love to have one of those. I consider Craterator the very first widescreen video game. Play Craterator, or if you see a Craterator in person, you'll see what I mean. If you look at it in MAME, you won't understand. But let me go fix something here.
You know, there's a lot of things that go down in history about arcade machines. A lot of myths and legends and so on. A lot of incorrect information. For example, a lot of people say, oh, Dragon's Lair was the first game that took 50 cents. You know, well, keep in mind, many of these machines way back when, before Dragon's Lair, had dip switch settings to take more than 50 cents. And here's in the cover of a magazine, it actually says, Atari breaks into 50-cent video play. Like it's something new. It's still not even new here. But it's a lot of interesting, it's a rich history. Rich history. Best hobby ever. Whole new game for old-fashioned fun. I have a Carnival in my garage. The monitor went bad and I put it in a garage and said I'd fix it one of these days, but honestly, I don't want to fix it because I have other games I like even more in the house and I'm out of room. But the reason I picked up the camera today is because I feel kind of awkward videotaping here at work. If there's someone else here, it's kind of weird. Like, you know, some dude, you know, videotaping himself. To me, at least. So the other guy that works here, he took off early. And so I figured, let's do a video. It's too close to the time where I'm going to leave. I'm not going to really fix anything else. I'm actually off the clock right now. So I figured I'd make a little wrap up of this video. So, by the way, check out Replay Magazine and all these different... It's so cool. So cool. Look, you can see a rip-off in the background here. This stuff was new. This stuff was brand new. And they advertised it, you know what I mean? It's absolutely amazing. Digger. Some of these, and it's funny, a lot of the games that they advertise are in these magazines are like uber rare and like sought after. but I guess no one bought them. Not that many people bought them, at least. Crazy. Well, Targ. For example, Targ. Well, guys, if you like my videos, please subscribe. Please tell your friends. Please leave a comment in the bottom, and have a good day.